All right, it is Thursday morning, and around here we like to call Thursday Friday Eve, or sometimes we like to call it Friday Junior. So the weekend is getting closer, and let me tell you, there's some big changes coming with our weather between now and then. This is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon live in the First Alert Weather Center. And we're going to have to deal with some on and off thunderstorms between now and Friday night, or the end of Friday night. And then as we go into the weekend, we switch from storms to some dangerous heat. All right, let's get you out to a look at First Alert ViperMax. This is actually the satellite data that's coming into ViperMax. And you can see the clouds that we had this morning across eastern Wisconsin are breaking apart. There's a few scattered clouds here and there, but otherwise a lot of sunshine is found. And any fog that we've been seeing around the bay is disappearing as well as visibilities improve. You'll notice there's another cluster of cloud cover in northwestern Wisconsin. That's because of a batch of some weakening thunderstorms. There they are in First Alert ViperMax, moving northeast of the Twin Cities. And they should drift south and east, and I am expecting that they will fade away between now and the end of the morning. So I suspect that during the morning, we'll stay dry in northeast Wisconsin. You'll notice I stress the word morning because the afternoon probably will not be dry. Our severe weather outlook is in the moderate category. We're anticipating some scattered strong thunderstorms, especially northeast of the Fox cities. The storms that pop up later today could have high winds, maybe gusts around 40 to 60 miles an hour, some hail, maybe up to an inch in diameter, and some localized heavy rain. And it'll be downpours here and there, but not everywhere. And I think if you are south and west of the Fox cities, you probably will avoid the storms this afternoon. That's not to say you're out of the woods for the next couple of days. There will be some more storm chances. All right, so there's the forecast for today. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. A bit warmer. We'll see a high of 84 degrees. Yesterday we saw highs mostly in the 70s. Today our inland highs are back in the 80s. And along with that 84, it will feel a little bit humid outside. You're probably noticing that right now. So yes, showers and thunderstorms will be developing this afternoon, and that's why today is a First Alert weather day. So we've got a level 1 risk of severe weather across northeast Wisconsin. That's that bright green color you see on the map. That's a marginal risk of severe weather. Now, just about a half an hour ago, the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, they just added this area of yellow west of Rhinelander back into central Minnesota. That is a level 2 risk of severe weather, a slight risk of some damaging thunderstorms. And what I suspect is going on here is that while there's a front near the upper Michigan border that's going to be helping to kick off some storms this afternoon, there's also some energy, aloft in the atmosphere, a little wave in the jet stream. And as that coasts in from the northwest, cutting through North Dakota, Minnesota, into northwestern Wisconsin, this is going to help the air rise even quicker and make the atmosphere even more unstable. And so it's in that corridor tonight we're probably going to find some damaging thunderstorms. So between now and this time tomorrow, this could be a 1-2 punch. The first punch this afternoon, especially northeast of the Fox cities, and then the second punch coming in later tonight. And that, that corridor of yellow there, that storm path for tonight, that could fluctuate. That I don't think is quite as certain. So we'll have to play that one by ear. So there's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, which seems to have a pretty decent handle on the sun mixed with the clouds. Now, right around 2 o'clock this afternoon, from Rhinelander to Shawano to Green Bay to Manitowoc, that right there, that line going from northwest to southeast, that's probably where we have the best chance of seeing thunderstorms popping up. And as the moisture converges along this little disturbance, the showers and storms will blossom in the heating of the day, and they'll move east into portions of Oconto County and Marinette County, clipping Brown and Manitowoc and Kewaunee counties, eventually heading into Door County early this evening. And this is where you could find a storm or two that prompts a warning from the Weather Service. We'll see. There's 6 o'clock early in the evening. Once we get to 8 o'clock tonight, a lot of the storms are fizzling out. And while we get a break in the action, look back to the west, here comes round 2. And that's going to be especially around and after midnight. I've seen some computer models actually take a lot of the thunderstorms through western and southwestern Wisconsin. That'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So there's some uncertainty on how those storms behave tonight going into daybreak Friday. So as far as the chances of showers and storms area-wide, I'd say today, tonight, and tomorrow, it's just under 50. It's probably close to 40%. Most of the storms Friday night will probably be in far northern Wisconsin, pushing into upper Michigan. And then you'll notice that the weekend is probably dry. Wouldn't rule out a shower or storm way up north Saturday morning, but really this weekend we're drying out because of our next weather maker. And it's a big dome of high pressure causing a heat wave. This is going to be this weekend and perhaps into Monday of next week. I expect our high temperatures this weekend away from Lake Michigan to get into the 90s, but it's going to feel hotter than that. In fact, I would call it dangerous heat for Saturday and Sunday. So there's the jet stream pattern, and you can see how it's flowing over top of us the next couple of days, helping to trigger showers and thunderstorms. But then the jet stream, the steering winds aloft, go way up into Canada. And the reason why this is because of high pressure building aloft. And I was talking with Emerson and I was talking with Tammy this morning on how it's kind of like blowing up a balloon. So if I had a red balloon and I started blowing it, the balloon's going to expand. And this is the big dome of heat that expands because of upper level high pressure. And what it does is it pushes the jet stream away from us up into Canada. And that's the storm track, basically. So you'll see that this weekend, the thunderstorms are going to be going north of us while we just sizzle. And that heat wave is probably not going to break down until a cold front comes in from the west, probably early next week, to bust up the heat wave and then bring in some cooler weather with some times of showers and thunderstorms. Now, it's going to be hot this weekend. It's also going to be rather muggy. And when you consider the heat and the humidity, you combine them together to get your feels like temperature, your heat index. Well, Saturday afternoon and again Sunday afternoon, we're looking at the heat index reaching and perhaps exceeding 100 degrees. If we get that heat index in the triple digits, that's dangerous stuff. That is stuff that can cause heat stroke, that can cause heat exhaustion for people, especially for little kids and also for older adults. And regardless of your age, we really don't want people outside this weekend overdoing it, exercising too hard, working too hard in the garden. You know, try to limit what you need to do outside. And if you can do these things in the morning hours when it's not as hot compared to the afternoon and early evening, that would be a good idea. And we really want people to stay hydrated, because if you're feeling thirsty, it's probably at the point where you're already becoming dehydrated. So we want people to, start drinking water ahead of time, especially Friday into Friday night and into Saturday. And that way, when we get these roasty, toasty temperatures and heat indices, your body is in a better position to deal with that kind of extreme heat. So again, this here on Pinpoint Predictor, what you're seeing here, this is what we're going to see Saturday, and we're probably going to have an encore performance as the heat repeats going into Sunday. Right now, it's not too bad. We're in the 60s, but I see we got some lower 70s now. 70 in Shawano, 71 in Wapaka. Dew points are mostly in the lower half of the 60s across eastern Wisconsin. It's a little uncomfortable, a little bit humid, but this is just nothing compared to what we're going to get over the weekend. So there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Today, Juneteenth, 84. Tomorrow, 83. By the way, tomorrow, I'll pop this out of the panel here and make this 7-day extra super. Tomorrow's the first day of summer, well, sort of, because the summer solstice doesn't happen until almost when the day is done, in the evening, 9:42. So that's when summer officially arrives. So this weekend is the first official weekend of summer, and it is going to be blazing hot with the highs in the mid-90s, heat indices near 100 degrees. If you're looking for a place to go and have fun and you're not in the heat, well, let me tell you, here's my recommendation. Go to Ephraim on Saturday. They have the 60th annual Fireball Festival, and there's a chance of a couple showers in the morning. That's an iffy rain chance. Otherwise, I do think you'll have high temperatures in the 70s with a mix of sun and clouds, and that's a lot more comfortable than having to deal with that heat index near 100 degrees. Temperatures will probably be in the low 70s Saturday evening as the fireworks go off. That's, I believe, around 9:30, if my memory serves me correct. And then that cold front comes in early next week to bust up that heat dome. We'll have showers and storms late Monday and a Monday night. And then with some more showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday, the more seasonable air flows back in with highs dropping back into the 70s. It'll still feel humid, but not quite as oppressive. There's a lot of weather going on today, tonight, tomorrow, into the weekend. Make sure you're knowing what's going on. And by doing that is one of the best ways, if you're not watching our newscast, is to follow along with our free WBAY First Alert Weather app, depending on how you're watching this live stream. If you're able and willing, scan our QR code on the left side of the screen, and that will keep you in the know of what's going on with our forecast as we go through multiple First Alert weather days. All right, I think we are about ready to call it quits on this live stream. Thanks to Mr. Emerson Lehman, who's down in the newsroom piloting things today. You can't see him right now. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to hijack this thing. I'm going to show you Emerson. There he is. Yeah, he's the man. Look at that, running the live stream, all nicely dressed, giving us a sly smile. Yeah, I know. You clean up nice, Mr. Emerson. Sharp dressed guy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep an eye out for those storms. We'll catch you tomorrow. See you around.